So this is my son's barn, which gets used for storage, and it's kind of lacking in lights. There was a couple spotlights up there where the blue box is. I just added the box, and there's a light there, runs off an extension cord. So I picked up some supplies. I'm going to add some ceiling boxes or light boxes in the ceiling, and I'm going to put 6 of them in. So I call these bays. There's like 2 bays here. So each one of these will get a light. The next one over, 2 lights. Next one, 2 lights. So total is 6 lights. Right now we're just going to put regular light bulbs in there. I think they're LEDs, but he ordered some really bright LEDs. They kind of have, I think they have 5 arms on them that fold down. I put them in my garage and they're super bright. So I'm going to put the boxes in and these ceiling light fixtures, so those bulbs will just screw right into them. And he already had power coming out here from years ago, but they used just regular Romex, as you can see up there, and it just fell apart. The insulation's all gone. So I told him it wasn't too safe. You could get a short in a storm and whatever. We eliminated that last year when I remodeled his garage. So what I did was I took the wire. You see that box there? It had power coming up from up above to it. So I cut that off that was coming in, and I added an outlet to it, or a plug-in. So now when he wants any power out here, just temporary till he does something more permanent, we'll just bring an extension cord out here from the garage, plug it in, and that'll light up his lights. Since that wire is already there, I'm just going to use that. I'm going to put a few staples along there, and then staple up there by the box. And then I'll put the ceiling box in here, and we've got some 12-2 Romex. If I remember right, that's what we got. Let's take a gander at it here. It's hard to say because I put a sticker right over the top of it. Oh, 14-2. I think that's good enough for lights, 14-2. We're not running a bunch of power equipment or anything. Just need some lights when he comes out here to do something. Later on, I'm going to talk him into putting in a few outlets in case he wants to charge a battery or something like that. Run his compressor. Anyway, I'm going to get started on this. I'll get that stapled up over there. Then I'll put a box in here, run a wire over to it. And when I get to the stairway over here, I'm going to come over to in here and then come up. I'll probably stay away a little bit so nobody messes with it, but come over one rafter, come up, then go over to the other light. I guess I don't have to come over too far because I'm going to stay in the center of the bay, but I'll just keep adding to this video until I get done, see how it turns out. Well, I made a little progress. This was, the switch leg was hanging down in here loose, so I put a staple there, staple up there, put it behind that beam, and I put a few staples up in there. Then I guess they're supposed to be within a foot of the box, so I'm trying to use plenty. I got both of those stapled within a foot. And he had some leftover Romex from probably when we wired the garage, so I'm trying to use the shorter pieces where I can. So I got my first, oh, where are we at here? Sorry. So there's the box. I ran the wires over, and they're supposed to be within around 4 feet. Was it 3.5 or 4.5? So I'm trying to go a little overboard, but I got the first run there. Now I'll connect that with a new piece, and I'll run it over here along the floor joist, and then around the cubby or the entry stairwell. Put another box over there, but we're making some progress. Well, I got the first one in and connected, and you flip the light switch. It works. I forgot to get a cover plate for the junction box, so I'll have to get one of those, but I'll just keep working my way across the ceiling, see what I can get done. So the way we have this rigged is I put the plug on that cord, the power cord that came in originally, and then he just runs an extension cord over inside of his garage. I'm not going to have time to do it this time, but maybe next time I come back to visit him, we can either dig it by hand or rent a trencher and get some underground wire and run this around the side of the house there to his main breaker box and hook it up to something. Then he'll have power all the time. He won't have to run an extension cord every time. Or the simpler way would be I could cut a hole in the siding and go into the outlet that's on the inside of the door there and put some conduit down into the ground and either run conduit all the way or just get some of that wire that's made for being underground. And then I'll have a kind of permanent solution, which would be better than having to drag an extension cord out every time, especially in the wintertime. That'll be a pain. Anyway, I will carry on. I put my roll of Romex in a 5-gallon bucket just so it doesn't run all over the place, and it comes out of there nicely. I just have to kind of straighten it as I go. And then I thought I would show you how I'm wiring these lights. You've got 3 wires coming in and 3 wires going out. And there's enough room under this clip. I put the white wires on the silver screw, and I put the black wires on the brass looking screw. And then these copper wires that are bare, I'm just going to wire nut those together. Now I have a plethora of wires sticking out here. I am going to raise this part that's insulated up an inch or 2 to get it up in the box further. But you really only need like 6 inches, because if you get too much, it's hard to get it stuffed back up in the box there. Once I get that in there, it comes with screws. I put them in the outside here. You can run the screws in most of the way, and then you see these lights have a slot on them. So you can put the screw in the big hole and then rotate it and finish tightening the screw, and that'll hold it in place. I'll show you when I get done. You can see I got those wires with the insulation up there a little higher. Now I just have to fold the wires up like thirds, stuff them up in the box, and then get my screws in there. Put these screws in with the regular screwdriver if you want, but I am using the cordless drill with the screwdriver bit. It's a lot faster. Screwing those screws into that plastic's kind of tough. So, I don't know if I can do this one-handed, but once you get it to that point, you want to get your wire or your fixture on those screws, one there, and then you give them a twist. I'll have to twist it a little bit more. Come on, get on there. Anyway, then you tighten the screws up. And that'll hold it up there nice and flush. And you can get your light bulb in there and be ready to go. So, there's your finished product, minus the light bulb. Flush on the top, nice and solid. Now somebody put all these braces in here when they built this barn, but they never bothered to attach them. These things are made to support these so they don't move on you, sway, get crooked, but none of these are attached, so I might do that later, I might not, but you just bend them up into position and put a screw in them. Somebody just never bothered. Well, I turned the light switch on, just to double check my work, and it's not coming on. The light bulb didn't go in there very easily, but I'm hoping just that switch on there is turned off. So they have a little pull chain on them, and that one was just shut off. So 2 lights installed. I shall continue. A couple things I wanted to add. If you're working on a dirt rock floor like I am, make sure your ladder's stable, because you do not want to get up there 6 feet in the air, 8 feet, 10 feet, whatever, and have your ladder buckle on you or flip out from underneath you. Not good. And another thing, the ends of my wires are not touching. You can see them right down there. So when I turn the light switch on, there's some wire going, or electricity going all the way through that wire. So just make sure you shut your light switch off every time. Otherwise, you may just zap yourself, and that's no fun, especially when you're on a ladder. Well, I was just thinking, if you've never put one of these in, you probably don't know how to do it. These particular boxes, they have 2 nails, one on each side, and they're at an angle. I don't know if it's 45 or what it is, but so the nail sticks out like this. And right here is a groove, and that's so if you have 1/2 inch drywall, the bottom of the box will be flush with the 1/2 inch drywall. I'm not going to drywall the ceiling, but I'm going to leave it sticking down just a little bit like that anyway. So you get it up there flush right on this corner with that groove, and then pound your nails in, and you got a nice solid box. And then it's got holes, 2 holes here. Maybe you can see them from in here. 2 places to put wire here, 2 places here, and 2 places out here. And it's just a piece of plastic that's been cut so it moves. You can just push the wire down in there. Sometimes I'll push it open with a screwdriver to make it a little easier. And there aren't any holes on the back side over here against the beam, just so you know. It would be handy if there were, but there's not. So what I've been doing is putting both of my wires in the same side. But in this case, since I'm going to be going that direction, I'll bring my one wire in this hole, and then I'll run it back, the other one out this hole. That way it'll be going the direction I want it to go. And I'll just run it along this beam here, put some staples every 3 feet, and put my other box down there. I also wanted to show you these staples I'm using. They do have ones that are just plain metal, but these are plastic with a couple small nails. And they hold the wire where you want it, but there's enough room the wire can move, so it's not getting in a bind. Keeps it up out of the way. Well, I got 4 lights in. That's going to make quite a difference in this garage at nighttime. They're LEDs and it's pretty bright. In the daytime, I can't imagine what it's going to look like tonight. Because normally, you need a flashlight when you walk around out here. Pretty dark. Well, I got the lights all in. This is what it looks like in the daytime without any lights. And actually, the camera makes it look brighter than it is. And we put some lights on, and it's almost like daylight in here. Pretty nice. Those LED lights really brighten the place up. Excuse the mess. It's an ongoing process, but I got all the lights in. I think they're going to be happy. And I probably won't do it while I'm here this time, but you never know. This has got a whole 2nd floor up there. It's got one little dim light bulb up there. If he wants me to, I could go up there and put in some more lights, at least a couple. Man, if I was a kid, I would have a playhouse up there, or fort, or something. It's got a whole 2nd floor up there with plenty of room. Anyway, nobody uses it. They don't like these steep stairs, but that's it for the lights. Thanks for watching. Hope it helps you out if you're thinking about doing something similar. If I left something out, sorry. Mention it in the comments. I do have to put a faceplate on that box there just to seal it off. Otherwise, it'll get full of bugs, spiders, wasps, who knows what. But this is going to help a lot. Thanks again for watching. If you want to like the video, that'd be great. Subscribe if you want. I'm always posting different videos on different things.